Hi, today we're going to talk about menopause weight gain solutions, what you need to do to try to lose weight as naturally as possible. What I want to talk about is trying to get a little better handle on what's happening with your weight. When you were younger, it was probably a little bit easier to keep the weight off, but as you go through menopause, your metabolism slows down, your hormones are out of balance. It is harder to keep that weight off. And you also tend to gain weight in places maybe you didn't gain weight before. It tends to be from about your armpits down to your hips. You get kind of thicker in the middle, almost like you have a buoy that you can float around in the river with. That's kind of a survival mode. That's what your hypothalamus is doing to kind of help you survive the crazy hormones that are happening in menopause. But what I need you to do in order to get a hold of this is I want you to start by keeping a diary, a log, a journal of everything you eat, everything you drink, all your activity, exercise, how much you're sitting, how much you're sleeping. And write that for at least 3 days. Just keep a journal so you can get an idea of like what is your norm. Because the 4 things that we're going to talk about is based on what your baseline is. So you need your baseline by keeping that diary. So number 1, you got to increase your activity. You already know your baseline. You know how many steps you're taking. What I want you to do is add aerobic exercise 3 times a week. And my favorite is the HIIT intervals. It doesn't really take that long. About 5 to 7 minute warm up. You can walk as fast as you can. Up to, I like to use a little hill and walk as quickly as I can, maybe even jog up that hill for at least 20 seconds. Really get your heart rate up. I want you going fast enough that you cannot talk while you're doing this. If you can keep up a conversation, you're not going fast enough. So I really want you to get breathless doing this for 20 seconds and then slow back down and then do it again for 20 seconds. So about a 1 minute rest in between. You've got 3 20-second intervals and then cool down for about 4 to 5 minutes. So if you do this 3 times a week, it'll make a huge difference in your weight loss because you're going to do a couple of things. You're going to increase the mitochondria in your muscle cells, which means you're going to be more metabolically active. You're going to start to break down the fat as you start to reverse insulin resistance. It's incredibly effective, the HIIT exercise. You can also 2 times a week add weight resistance. Now this could be yoga, could be Pilates, you could lift iron, you can throw bales of hay around. I don't care what you do, but start using your body, your whole body, and start using either your own body weight or outside weight, because that makes a difference in your lean body mass. The more muscle mass you have, the more bone mass you have, it's more metabolically active, way more metabolically active than fat. So you want more lean body mass. And if you can do it, throw in 1 long, slow distance a week. That means you're exercising at a slower pace for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours is even better. We're talking like a long hike, a long bike ride, a very long walk. That'll make a huge difference. You burn fat for 48 hours after doing a long, slow distance. Number 2, if you combine your activity with an insulin-resistant diet, meaning that you're eating vegetables, protein, and fat, no starchy carbs, no sugars, no pastas, no breads, no rice, no grains, and do that for at least 3 weeks to jumpstart your weight loss. And then slowly pulse those carbs in. Add a carb serving for breakfast, like some oatmeal, no sugar, just the oats. And if you don't gain any water weight, you're good. If you gain some water weight the next day, you're not quite ready to add those carbs back. So go another week on the insulin-resistant diet. You'll get to the point, usually within 3 to 6 weeks, where you can add the carbs and you're not gaining water weight. You're using it for energy. And that's okay, because you've increased your activity. Don't eat your carbs after dark if you want to maintain that weight loss. If you want to continue to lose weight, your metabolism slows after dark. So no carbs after dark will allow you to be able to, once you add the carbs back, to be able to maintain your weight loss. Number 3, try to sleep in the dark. Sleep is just important to weight loss as activity is. If you're not getting deep sleep, you are not reversing insulin resistance. And if you don't reverse insulin resistance, you'll continue to store the extra calories you take in that you don't burn into your body fat. Melatonin reverses insulin resistance, and you don't make enough of it if you don't sleep in the dark. You need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night. So make sure you're getting really nice deep sleep. Now, if you're menopausal and you're having issues sleeping, you may need some bioidentical hormone replacement, particularly estrogen, although you need to use estrogen and progesterone together in order to prevent those middle of the night wakenings. I want you to also consider number 4, balance out your hypothalamus. If you really want to set your weight down to a lower, more ideal weight for you, not an overweight menopausal woman, but a nice, fit menopausal woman, you got to balance out your hypothalamus. If you don't support your hypothalamus, you'll continue to creep that weight set point up. And if you want a higher metabolism, that's your hypothalamus. It's really orchestrating every one of your body systems, all your hormones, your metabolic rate, your weight set point, your body temperature, your sleep cycles. If you want to sleep deeper, you got to balance out your hypothalamus. And you can do that with Genesis Gold. I designed it particularly to balance out the hypothalamus. It can also optimize your thyroid function. One of the things that I've noticed is how much better thyroid function is in my menopausal patients who are taking Genesis Gold regularly, and that has to do with all of the seed vegetation and the greens and the hypothalamic balance with the sacred 7 amino acids in there. So you can get Genesis Gold right here, and I'll see you in the next video.